Second. Let's see what's gonna happen. Oh my God, we're
We're
live!
live. Oh, look, we're 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds in, 8, 9. Oh my God, so exciting.
Patrick can count. That's exciting.
Hello,
That's how you know
world.
you're with the Working Actor NYC.
Benjamin House.
That's Patrick Richwood. And we are indeed doing our very first live together.
Live.
Live and
It's alive.
sort of in person. So what I thought today is that we would get into some office hours and let people ask some questions live and in person. Okay, the music is really cute, and now I'm annoyed with it, so go away.
No, don't make it. Oh, okay. You know, I'm always hearing it in my head anyway. It's our theme song. Walking down the block.
So when as questions come in, we can field those and deal with those sorts of things. But what I want to know is, how has your week been? Because you've been off and away, and what have you been up to?
I was in California. You know, it was wonderful. And I feel like I've been gone for 3 months and had, like, you know, a vacation around the world, because I've been like, you know, you go, I was flew into San Diego, there, then, and all over the place.
How long were you away for altogether?
Almost 3 weeks.
Oh,
yeah,
joys.
almost 3 weeks. I know. And it was
So you missed out on the freezing cold here,
yes,
right?
Yes. I
God
was here for all of
you.
the, you know, the original freezing cold, with the snow up to 9 feet high over the, you know, on 9th Avenue. But I was 11 degrees when I left, and the feels like box said minus 17, I think it was, or 16.
Yeah, I
and
do
I was
hate
like,
you.
that's just, yeah, it's like sort of surreal at that point. It's like not.
So what were
really,
you
it's
doing over there? Were
abstract.
you just catching up with people, or were you
I was
working over there? What were you doing?
I wasn't hooking up with people, really, sadly. I was, my family's there, loads of my real friends.
Oh. As opposed to,
all my real friends are actually over there. No, a lot of old friends are over there. Out
Jan will be
because
thrilled.
I grew up there. You know, I'm all grown up now.
Are you? Is that why you're wearing that hat?
My niece made this hat, and I thought you'd ask me about that. Thank you. She made this hat for me when she was like 12, and I love it so much.
Oh, I thought you were going to say when she was blind.
Don't listen, Maddie. This is all it needs is little ribbons to go like this, because it is the warmest hat you have ever can ever imagine. It's so warm right now.
Just say Goody Proctor is the devil.
I thought I looked like a flapper.
Oh, to our people watching us on TikTok, you can see the full experience, because on TikTok they're only seeing me right now. But on TikTok, you can see the full experience if you go to my bio, click the link tree. That very first link will bring you right over here
to the tube of you.
To the tube of you,
yeah.
Where we are live streaming.
Don't watch just Benjamin. That's only half the fun.
If you're only watching Benjamin, you're only getting half the story.
That's right.
But hopefully they can hear you, because I've got you on my speaker.
Yeah.
But this wasn't in any way, you weren't trying to, you know, rekindle relationships with your LA network, were you? Or is it just friends and family?
Yeah, just friends and family. I not much happens is happening right now anyway, you know, in this period, this time over there. So for me anyway, so I just kind of was like, let me just go and say hi to everybody and reconnect. I really wanted to reconnect with people. It's been it's been a while. It's been a couple of years since I've seen a lot of my friends out there, because I've been busy.
Well, but they also don't like you that much. So, you know, there's that. You
know, Benjamin, I feel this is a good time to have this conversation. Since we're live and we have witnesses, theoretically.
And you're in the witness protection program. Yes.
I'm complete with our friendship.
Okay. Oh, it's come to a close.
I feel so. Don't you? I feel healthy about it. I feel good about it.
It's a good stopping point, right?
Let's
Goodbye.
Let's go out on a high. Let's go out on a high.
Well, while you were gallivanticating in California in the sunshine and the warm, I was taking full advantage of our time to be not gainfully employed. I went to a great panel that was organized. Okay, this is important, super important. I really want you to hear this. I went to a great panel organized by the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, and it was a panel of 5 casting directors who were all nominated for Artios Awards. Artios Awards are the Casting Society of America's award ceremony to
Yes,
celebrate achievements in casting.
it's a big
And
deal.
it's a big deal, and there are some incredible casting directors nominated. And I just wanted to, because I don't know a lot of TV and film casting directors, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to hear what they have to say. Patrick, the big story is this.
They had nothing to say. No, just kidding.
You're, I, if that hat were a wig, it would be about to blow off. It does not matter when you put in your tape; they watch all of the self tapes. I know, right? I mean, we have all been working under this assumption and on operating under the assumption that getting your tape in early somehow pushed you to the front of the line. There may still be some advantages to getting in early, but even if, as long as you get your self tape in before the deadline, it will get watched. That stunned me. I really thought that that was not true.
Do you think they're lying? Do you think they're
No,
lying
I don't
just to
think
be
they have any reason to
politically
lie. I think they are all desperate to make sure that they're presenting in
the
TV
best
the
of what they got?
showrunner, or in film the director, with the best possible options. And
That's very encouraging, because
I was so encouraged by that.
as we've discussed, the one thing that the sort of the caveat that comes with, or that I felt came with self tapes, because I enjoy them and I like them and I'm all for what's new. Let's do it however they want. But I always thought there's no guarantee that they'll see your audition. Whereas if in the room, you got seen. So it's like, that's really encouraging.
Isn't that
You just made my month, my
That was
year. You made
that
my
was
year.
really, and they said a lot of other things. They all said, and so this has been a big discussion, particularly on TikTok. You're missing out by not seeing the whole thing. Hit my bio to go to the link tree, and you can click on the green room there, and that'll bring you over here to YouTube, so you can see Patrick's beautiful face as well as just mine. But the other thing that they all said was that they have cast people from some very budget looking tapes. You can go all out on your backdrop and your dramatic lighting if that helps you give a better performance. But all they care about is making sure that they believe the character. And there was some really interesting discussion around. So that was something
That's interesting,
cool.
because we talked about that a little while back, and I remember that it was a real discussion, a real debate for us about, should we, isn't it better to, really give it all you got with the technical aspects? And I remember, and that's a better way to say it, what you just said, which is like,
If it helps you,
if it works
go
for you,
for it.
yeah, like great. And it's the same thing we talked about with props. I remember saying, listen, they say don't know props, and I kind of agree, because it clutters things up, and I don't. But if it helps you, if you need to light a cigarette, okay, light a cigarette. I don't care.
Well, the
Like, do
interesting
what you
thing
need to do.
is that what they did talk about, and these are women casting directors. They happen to be all women, but they were all casting directors who know this stuff. Like they are at the top of their game. And what they were saying was, for God's sake, make sure that you are engaged in a believable activity that helps you ground yourself in the character and the situation, because all we want is to believe that you are the character in this world that we're trying to create. And they were very passionate about making sure that the people that they chose lived in the world that they were trying to create in this film or in this TV show. So
when you say lived in the world, Benjamin, now, are you talking about, like, as opposed to what that's the rule of thumb, I guess, in general, like we're talking back to basics. That's good acting, right? Let's have them believe I'm the person in the story, right? So much that they go, oh, that's the essence I want. Let's,
Yeah.
whether it's theatrical or whether it's TV, film, stage, whatever. But when you say these 5 casting directors are in the world of television and film, right? Or is it just
Mhm.
television?
Television and film. Oh no,
So
4 of them were film. 1 of them was television.
okay,
Some
so
2
then
of them
there.
crossed over, but what they were nominated for was Julie Schubert is the casting director for The Diplomat, the Kerry Russell
Yeah,
series. The
yeah.
rest of them were
One of my very favorite shows in the world. I
oh,
love that show so much. Anyway, but you are they speaking of we want you to create the world like in a way that's filmic, that we're not that's specific, or were they just using those words the way we would for
as
any
good
audition?
acting. As
Yeah,
good acting.
that's
And
what I wanted to
what
get
I thought
clear.
was super interesting was it was that sense of don't if you give yourself activity, then you can start in the middle. Like you can, like when you say your first word or whenever you edit the beginning of the scene, you're already in the world,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Oh,
it's
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah, 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 yeah. All
like,
of it
don't
comes
use
back
the
down to
first
our training.
line. Don't use what they see in the tapes that they get are people who are using the first line to become part of the world. And they were like, we can see it, we can tell. So be in it
Bring
already.
it already. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a teacher that my teacher had, who I think it was one of my teachers, who said she called it bringing your mantle with you. And I think what she meant was,
Like around your fireplace.
yeah, you know how people have their entire history like in photo, she was
Oh,
picturing
on the
like photos
mantelpiece.
of, yeah. She's
Okay.
like, bring your world in the room with you in the way that in mentally, so that
Yeah.
you're already in the conversation, unless the conversation hasn't started yet, right? Unless it starts with hey you. But I mean, whatever you're in, whatever your world is over there, you have to already kind of be there. You kind of have to. It's not.
Yeah. I mean, and again, that's just good acting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
get
it's
into it. So
very,
that was
very
super cool.
encouraging. I love that. I love that
Yeah.
they said that. That makes me very, very
And
encouraged.
also, it
It's
doesn't
really,
matter when you get your tapes in, as long as you get them in before the deadline. Because if you get them in
that's what
after
I'm
the
talking about.
deadline, then it sends them a different story. Oh, the other thing was, if you ever have you seen this? I've only had this once or twice, but the option to send in a self tape or to Zoom an audition live, and I've had that. I feel like maybe once or twice I've had that option. Always take the live Zoom.
Oh, I would. I would.
I
But
didn't.
I don't
I was
recall
like,
ever
huh.
having that option. I
That
don't think.
happened once to me, and I was like, "Ah, that Zoom time doesn't really fit, and what if I screw it up in I'll do a self-tape." Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
oh,
Live, absolutely. I would agree. That's what I would want to do instinctively, because why wouldn't you can talk you can actually converse, which I think is a big deal. I mean, it's underrated. People, the thing that happens, a connection that happens, and it doesn't have to be a big deal. I'm not saying you got to entertain them or be somebody you're not or do any of that bullshit. I just mean, sorry, we're live. Shh, quiet.
PG. God.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, where is it?
where is it? we, pardon me. Sorry, I had a
Oh,
little.
thank you, Dolls of Horror. Dolls of Horror says you're both fantastic. Thank you for what you do. Happy to
Uh,
be here. Ready
yeah,
to
we
share,
are.
happy to help.
Yeah, we are.
So
Yeah, we are.
so that was Wednesday. On Thursday, I took a class with New York City Center, which was about establishing artistic brand. That was like it ended up being an online class because they were worried about people traveling into. Oh my, oh my God. Last night, I went to New York Theater Workshop and saw
Oh, yeah.
my
Well,
my joy is heavy. And a new brand stinking new. Last night was their third performance. A brand new piece of musical theater by Sean and Abigail Benson, the Bengsons. So good, very real, immediate storytelling, told in a way that is unglamorous, unpolished, uncommercial in a lot of ways.
unvarnished. Yeah.
Yeah, very real, very immediate, but very also very accessible. Thoroughly loved it. 10
Can't
out of
wait
10
to see it.
recommend. 10 out of 10 recommend.
Send me. I can't wait to see you. Yeah, you texted me. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. And I love that. It's Music Theater Works, you said?
New York Theater Workshop. Yeah.
New York Theater Workshop. Oh, okay.
Down on East 4th
Oh yeah,
Street
I
in
love
East
them
Village.
too.
I see you
That's where
all
I
on
saw.
TikTok. Guys, come on over. Hit the link in my bio on the link tree to come over to the green room so you can see Patrick's beautiful face as well.
Yeah, I mean, get ready though. Oh, this.
Oh God.
I look so for somebody who's been in California for the last 3 weeks, I look like a sheet of
Are you
typing paper.
are you a tanner though?
Oh yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, but
Well, now I
they were
really hate
having they
you.
were it was kind of a not cold. It was a cold spell for them. Like all my friends were like, "Oh, we're so sorry. It's going to be in the 60s." And I was like,
I can't. I can't. Everyone back home in Australia is like, "Oh, it's so cold. Had to put a jumper on." I'm like, "Listen, first of
"Jumper."
all,
First of all, it's a sweater, okay? Who do you think you are? Cut it out. No, I did get to the beach a couple of times, but I didn't really. It wasn't for that. I was just I have to stand in the Pacific Ocean when I just have to once a year. I got it.
100%. I 100%
I got it.
agree with that. Like, you've got to do that.
So I did. So anyway, but
Well
I'm
done.
just sort of surprised with my my and then I told you I dyed my beard. I tried to dye my beard to match my hair, which is what's left of it, because there's too much. Like if it was even, it'd be fine. But there's like little streaks of gray, right? So I try and dye it, but I used too much, so now I look like James Lipton from inside the actor's studio.
It looks fine.
In 1974, your
I don't
teacher,
see it.
Mrs.
I don't
Broha,
honestly.
told you that you might be an actor. Yes, I know.
What was that other question? He always used to say, "What's your favorite curse word?"
Oh, yeah, your favorite curse. And
Your
but
favorite curse
he
word.
always goes
Oh,
like
and
this.
when you get to the pearly gates or something, what do you hope St. Peter says? Was that when you get to the pearly gates, what do you hope St. Peter says to you?
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that, right?
Yeah,
I feel
you're in
like
the
that was
wrong place. Turn
do a
around, go
U-turn.
the other way. Hi, babe. You can wear my hat at brunch. Yes, you can. I'm gonna put it over here. Okay, now I'm gonna try on my next hat. I'm gonna do a hat fashion show for us.
I love how this live has become. Oh, speaking about
This is better.
people, Patrick Richwood fans, we got a question a couple of weeks ago that you've refused to answer. So now we're going to do it live.
I
Laura
forgot.
Gore
I forgot to answer it.
on YouTube. He's been busy in California. So
I'm
Patrick,
sorry,
quick question
Laura.
from a big fan of Adventures in Wonderland. Are you still friends with all the cast from the episode back in 1992? Wait, that's when Adventures in Wonderland was?
Yeah, 92, 93. Can you believe that?
How many seasons did
Adventures
you do?
in Wonderland.
Oh,
It was 100 episodes. They just started it. They just started running every day. So it wasn't, but we shot for 2 years. We did, yeah, we shot in Florida, what do you call it? Florida Universal, Disney Universal, which was what it was called at the time, on 2 sound stages. And then 30 episodes later that we came to LA and we shot on CBS Radford, right next door to Jerry Seinfeld, which reminded me to tell you the story about I got lost one time in my all done up as a giant rabbit on
and
rollerblades.
you ended up on the Seinfeld set.
I wandered into one of the Seinfeld offices, and Jerry Seinfeld was there, and a bunch of other people, and they all looked up, and I was like, and he goes, "Is it somebody's birthday?" And Jerry goes, and I go, I think I'm in the wrong. Sorry. And they must probably still talking about that. Like,
Oh
did that
my
happen?
God.
Did that really? And I also wandered onto the stage where they were recording. Barbara Streisand was recording her Broadway album, and she was like, "What's he doing?" Honestly, I got lost. Anyway, Laura, I want to tell you, I am still friends with those clowns. I love them all so much. John Hoffman, who played the Mad Hatter, is a big time writer and producer. He was the showrunner for Only Murders in the Building. He's doing, and
Oh, nice.
billions of other things. And he's lovely. Harry Waters Jr., who played Tweedledee, is a professor, and he, goes all over the place teaching, and he directs all over the place. Rob Fleming, who was Tweedledum, is also a professor. They're all smart. All these people are smart. Reese Holland, everybody. Armelian McQueen is no longer with us, who played the Queen of Hearts. I'm sad to say, neither is Terry Garr, who played the Duchess, and neither is Ken Page, who played the Walrus. I mean, it's
You
really,
didn't tell me you were with Terry Garr. You know she's
yeah.
one of my idols.
Is
Oh,
she- yeah, I've worked together with her a couple of times, and she was a riot. Oh gosh, she was funny.
oh,
Anyway, yeah, she did at 7 or 8 episodes of Wonderland, I think. Anyway, as the Duchess, we had loads of guest stars. We had Marley Matlin, and we had
oh
Gilbert
wow.
Gottfried, and we had what's with the braids. What's his name? The singer, the old guy that didn't pay his taxes. Okay.
Stevie
Anyway,
Wonder?
no, Stevie Wonder paid his.
I don't know.
The
Willie
country
Nelson.
sing. Yeah, that's the guy.
Oh,
Anyway, Laura, thanks for asking. Yes, we're all still friends, and we all are very proud of that show. We really are. And whenever I run into someone who saw it, who happens to know that I played the White Rabbit, because how would you know unless you knew? My own mother wouldn't have recognized me under all that makeup. They are always, it's always great to experience because people loved that show so much. So thank you. I'm glad you did too. Thank you. Sorry, I forgot
see,
to answer your question. I'm sorry. It's
you made
empowering.
it. You got it. What was it called?
Thanks, babe. I'm
Adventures in
glad I'm
Wonderland?
glad this is empowering, Kelly. What?
This is Adventures in Wonderland. Is that what it's called?
Adventures in Wonderland. It's on the Disney. It's streaming live. It's streaming on Disney Plus.
Well, you
All 100 episodes. Well, you can't see all 100 episodes because one of them featured. I can't. One of them they're airing the pilot, which they're not allowed to do. They are airing it as if it's episode number 1 because one episode can't be aired, and it's the one where the rabbit had an imaginary hero who coached him through because he couldn't hop. He couldn't jump. I mean, it's
White
called White
Rabbit
Rabbits
Can't
Can't
Jump.
Jump.
And who
Yeah.
was your co-star in that episode?
O.J. Simpson. This was pre, of course, everything. So, yeah, they never will. But ironically, that's the episode that Disney chose to make a little booklet about. And you can still find that little booklet like on eBay or something. It's the episode as a book. They did that with 4 of our episodes or 6 of our episodes. And they chose that one before, before the
You
what hit the
mean
when.
that one?
Yeah, there you go. How did you do that so fast? Look at that.
I have powers.
Look at that
Patrick,
makeup. Look at that makeup.
wow.
Don't I look just like OJ?
Hor- it's the teeth. I,
Teeth, lenses, whiskers. The whiskers were feather bones, stripped feather bone. I mean,
oh,
you name
it looks
so much.
painful. How long did that makeup take?
3 hours. No, it wasn't painful at all, but it was exhausting. It was uncomfortable
Oof.
all the time. Anyway,
So were the feather bones attached to a prosthetic, and the prosthetic was over your?
yeah, they'd stick those in. They glue them in at the end. The prosthetic was formed to created, and
Yeah.
then they ran them. They just had a bunch of them, and they would paint eyebrows and this, and then they would paint for 3 hours, and then they would glue those. There were spots in the thing
Yes,
for them
sure.
to stick the feather bones, so they're
Feather bones.
always
Oh
the
my
same.
gosh.
And then they painted on all those wrinkles, and then they put all the hair and anyway, whatever.
It looks
We're we're
painful.
we're
Anyway,
digressing
I'm
into
glad that I
nonsense.
found that because I'm dying to know what it actually looks like. I mean, you've talked about it, but I see you all over on TikTok. Come and hit the link in my bio and join us over in the green room.
You guys,
First,
get
then you can see all
you're
Patrick's
missing the best
glory.
parts.
So this is
Anyway,
our
Kelly's
first
here.
live situation, which means that there's no script and there is no editing. But you're
Okay.
and there are nipples.
Sort of.
But you just gave yourself a note to self-edit. What's that about?
Because we have to self-edit, because normally when we do this, I will, or sometimes you do too, cop to it. Sometimes you go on, and then poor Benjamin has to edit them, stitch them together like a little ancient woman in Thailand going blind, trying to stitch them together. and then he has to do it again for YouTube, because they don't match. Those don't match up. You got to make sure that the videos. That's why on YouTube we're like, and then with because we do jump cuts because there's no way you could possibly edit it to make sense. Otherwise, that you have to do that. So that's why.
Are
Wrap it up.
you so wrap it up? See, you came to the end. You even finished your sentence. I'm very proud of you because normally what happens when I'm editing these
All
episodes
right,
together
that's
is that
enough.
Patrick gets to the end of a sentence, but before he gets to it, well, he has to qualify what he's saying before he gets to the end of the sentence. I'm like, just say the end of the word so I can cut it.
That's not true. You know why? Because when in 1964.
Oh God.
All right, so that's Penny, by the way.
Penny.
She
Penny
comes
the
in
goat.
really handy. All right,
Penny
so
the
but
screaming goat.
you know,
But
we were
I
gonna
mean, so okay, so
we,
you actors are often told, don't hold back, right? Don't hold back.
are
Does that
they?
apply in all situations, or are there some situations where, maybe you should hold back?
I mean, for me, it's always like hold back. So I like to tell people from right from the get-go for me that too much is just a place to start as far as I'm concerned. So but it's funny because we were just talking about, what comes back down to the fundamentals of good acting, create the world for yourself and then bring
Yeah.
it with you and then be in it, and be the person in the story and get on with it. So, and they will, so that they believe it. And don't worry so much about external things unless it empowers you to. Don't worry so much about, oh, I got to have every prop and I have a move to go with everything. That's actor nonsense. Get grounded in your stuff and get on with it. But
Well, I sort of have a different take, only because what happened to me last year was that we were working on a new musical comedy, and the script was very much still in development. And so I found myself giving them really big choices and going to extremes so that we all could figure out what suited this world that we were trying to create.
absolutely, I should have qualified. I was speaking about the five casting directors the TV and film people. I was
Oh
talking
yeah,
about TV and film only. Yeah, because I agree with you, and I've been in that situation with you as well. And it's like
yeah.
it really is fun to bring everything, all your toys. It's
Oh
super
gosh.
fun, and if
I
they'll
mean,
let you, it's even
because what you want in the room is artistic freedom, right? You don't
yeah,
edit the work. You don't try to control outcomes. You collaborate.
yeah.
You know, or you don't protecting yourself from judgment may feel safe, but I feel as though it stops the work from being explored deeply.
And expressed deeply, because if you're protecting yourself from judgment, no matter how subtly, you're not, to that degree, you're not having that crucial conversation with your son-in-law, or you're not
Right.
asking your
You're not
wife for the
actually, yeah,
divorce, or
you're
you're
not
not,
present.
dealing with the waiter that's about to, you're not in that story to that degree. And so that's why I really strongly feel like whatever it takes for you to get there, like those casting directors were saying. But and of course in TV and film, it's got to be kept simple, because thinking the thoughts is enough. You
Right.
thinking that it really is enough. So anything more, as my friend Michael would say, is a hat on a hat.
Well,
And
and
so
the other thing that these casting directors said at this panel that I went to was that, eh, especially for co-star roles where you have one line, three lines, where you get very little information and there's not a lot of context or subtext, like these one-liners, what they are looking for is the actor who makes a choice.
mhm.
So that I think comes from this idea of I don't know what the perfect answer is. I don't know what the right way to say this line is. So I'm going to say it my way. And as
Yeah.
long as your way has a point of view and lives in that world, that's what the casting directors respond to. And it may not be the right choice for this, in which case they may give you a note, or they may just file you away for, you know, for future
For
projects where they're like,
future,
at least they know they can count on you to show up having made a choice and not trying to play safe.
that I love the casting directors and the directors who are looking for the necessary essence rather than a particular choice. I mean, it is telling if you really go down a path that's not accurate and you missed something. I would
Yeah.
say I would think twice about hiring that actor unless I had rehearsal time, because if they missed something crucial that led them to a choice that's, I think, inaccurate as the director or the casting director, and it's there on the page that it's inaccurate, then I'm like, okay. But if they've made a choice and it's a strong choice,
Yeah.
and it's not the one that I'm going to go with as a director or the casting director, but it's the essence, they grabbed it, they got it, they're good, you know, they're real. I love that them for hiring me,
Right.
because they're taking, you know, they're going by the talent and by the work rather than, you know, I don't know what their concept is yet.
And the other thing that one of a couple of the casting directors said was that I have given a note to an actor and say, do it again, but add this in, or do it again, but reframe it like this. If you, and the important point was that if you get a note, they're considering you for the role. So, you
Yeah.
know, you've made it through another
They're seeing, and
round.
they're seeing if you can model what it's like to work with you.
Yeah.
And can you take direction? And I love when they give me a lot of actors have a glitch that they learned early on. This is a great thing for your coaching, Benjamin, because it's a real thing I've never even talked about, which is the moment they get a note, they think they're being criticized, they've done it wrong. A little voice comes up and goes, oh, now, you know what I mean? And don't ask me why, because we get notes all the time. But even as in rehearsal, I've seen actors be like, oh, okay. You know, like, it's just direction, you know, you're collaborating. But
Try it.
for some reason, a lot of people do have that. I think it comes under the heading of, you know, conflict aversion or something like that. But in any case, it's such gold, because now you get to actually listen and make an adjustment. And that's what they're
Right.
looking for. I mean, as I'm
And
a director, that's what
and
I'm looking for.
you get to play. I'm interested if any of our viewers and listeners right now have ever had an audition where they're like, "Oh, I really held something back in the room." Let us know. These comments are live, so hit us up and let us know. So,
Thanks, Kelly. Thank you, Barry. My friend is on it right there. See, she says good point about. I think it's a good point. Thank you so much. Those clowns over on TikTok, can they comment?
they can, if only I knew.
See, they're probably commenting away. And come over here, you guys. Come over to the light side.
Yeah, if anybody
Walk
who's
into the
watching on
light.
TikTok, I don't think so. I think
Good.
somebody on TikTok send me make a comment so that I can see where it shows up. One new message. Okay. But those of you on TikTok, the link to the real live is in my bio. So hit that
In
first.
your bio or the
Working Actor NYC.
working
So
actor? Yeah.
wherever they're watching this, they can hit the top left corner will take you to my bio, and there's a link tree there. Hit the link tree, and the first option will be the green room, and that's where we are. We're in the green room.
I told
We're doing
everybody I
episodes
know,
in the
but the
green room.
thing is, I didn't do it till late, and I also told three-quarters of them are in LA. I'm in California. So it's
Sure,
like,
and they haven't even woken up yet.
are you kidding me? So next time we'll do it a little later.
So the thing about editing your behavior, the flip side of that is that no, you don't want to edit your performance, but there is an argument to be made that you need to edit your behavior in the room. I am thinking of the times where I'm working with an ensemble of people, some of whom I know better than others, and I may have consent and permission to make jokes about one person.
Oh yeah.
And I do not have the consent and permission to joke in that way about any of the other people. And the other people may be upset by the way I talk with my friend with whom I have consent and permission. So I don't know. Does that trigger anything for you?
Oh, brother, does it? Me? No. Yeah, I've been through I've been through several um odysseys about that. How do I but they don't really come down to how do I come off best in the room in a rehearsal or a thing. It's more like how do I want to conduct myself in my life. So,
That part.
yeah. So I think the key there is something that a really wise person told me. One of my many mentors, as you know, Benjamin, I have had so many mentors. I can't even, there's so many wise people
Well,
in
you've
my
needed
life.
so much help throughout
I
the
really
centuries.
have. I really
Yeah.
have. I'm like the little fly, fly, fly for us. And once person said to me that, you is what I'm about to say going to further the conversation
Uh-huh.
or not?
Uh-huh.
And for me, that's been gold because I will tend to want to yuck it up. I'm
Yeah,
already
right?
having
Go
fun.
for the gag,
Yeah,
make
I
people laugh.
show up
Yeah.
on the first day of school very, very, very happy to be
Drunk.
there.
Oh,
I don't,
sorry.
well, that too. Um, I'm drunk now. Can't tell, can you? No. Uh,
Ah, yeah.
See this? It's vodka. I think there's great value in that for an actor because I'm of the belief that good acting is good listening.
Yeah.
Really, first and foremost, I think yes, we have a craft to do. We got to just develop the context. We've got to develop the story. We've got to create the world for ourselves. We've got to get all of those pieces in place. But
Yeah,
then
yeah,
we have
yeah.
to listen. So, and in fact, we have to listen to the story the moment we crack it open. We have to start listening at the first read of
My
our
take
for
on that is
ourselves.
always prep, 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 and then throw it away because, you've got to be present for that moment where yeah.
Yeah,
But in
that's
the
right.
room, I think it shows up as sort of like getting intelligent about the room, about reading the energy in the room, knowing what
Right.
the hierarchies are, knowing when to offer ideas, when off ideas,
Ideas.
ideas. Sorry, I got confused about when American R's come into words.
I know it's lovely. I love it. Makes me so happy when you do that. Makes you so happy when you put on your jumper.
But it
So
is,
yeah,
I have found that challenging in some rooms where there are knowing when my input is required, valuable. I don't know. I do struggle with that. I do struggle with that.
I think that's oh that come is what bleeds into our lives. That's the thing that if you struggle with that in rehearsal room, you might struggle with that elsewhere. And it's a question of being,
That's
for
true.
me, it's about contextualizing it so that I'm not behaving differently in rehearsal. I'm being the man I always mean to be whenever at a party or at a job, at a coaching when I'm coaching. I think that is the key because otherwise, if people start because the problem I find is that when people, you know, only pay attention to that, like I got to be on my best behavior and really get it right here in rehearsal or at the first day of school rehearsal or whatever, it could get weird. You know what I mean? They're not, they're being that way for an agenda rather than they want to be that way. So
Right.
you're like always looking at yourself and going, you know, what ways can I expand and improve? And so
Yeah,
definitely.
I think what I'm trying to work on is really that balance of I love being free as a performer and as a person and
I'll say it's
unf
like restraining orders. Never mind. Anyway,
unfiltered Benjamin isn't always what the moment requires. And so I sort of try to keep my antenna up about being in tune with what the moment requires, whether that's the rehearsal room, the audition room, the waiting room, um, my kitchen, whatever.
yeah, I think you're right. I think, and there, since an audition is an unusual, unique, and artificial situation in a
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
then it does require a little bit of forethought. So, I mean, about the personal part of it, like do I know this casting director? Oh, yeah, I really like this guy. He cast me in such and such, and but I don't know his demeanor. I can't remember, so I'm gonna ease in, be very polite. I also think it's very important to never really be too effusive with casting directors because they don't want to tip their hand in front of the director that they want you a lot. You know what I mean? Like they don't want any indication that they're partial unless they say so. I think that's been what I'm told by casting directors. It's like, I might not be real friendly with you because I don't want to tip my hand. I
Well,
don't want,
and also they're doing their job. They've got a job to do,
well, yeah, but that
evaluating
doesn't mean it
is
can
a
be
part
can't
of
be
their
fun. Some of them have a
sure.
ball at
Yeah.
what, and others of them are very busy. It's like
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know actors like that too. I know actors that are really like in auditions, they're not quite themselves. They're very like, hello, because
It's
they're
super interesting
occupied.
because something that I really work hard on with my coaching clients is finding out what their wheelhouse is, finding out where their personal strengths make the acting effortless, because it's often in those lanes that it's something that we work on, we spend a lot of time on, and we work on really hard. If you are interested in coaching, click that QR code in the top, and that'll send you over to the coaching page on the workingactornyc.com.
That's fancy. That thing right there with the little duck in it.
Yeah, with a little StreamYard duck in there.
Isn't that
But
cute?
we got tools and tricks. But your performance, I think my sort of like thing was your performance should be unedited. Your behavior should be intelligent. Like you
Yeah.
have to be able to be smart enough to identify when actors should and should not edit themselves. That was a
Yeah.
really long way of saying we're live.
It's not always about us, Benjamin, okay? It's not always about us. Sometimes
Listen,
it's about the bigger picture.
we're just trying to make sure that there's value for our
It's
audience
all.
by offering
Listen,
something.
we've been up since 3 in the morning working this out, okay? So,
Is that what we've been doing? Oh my
I
god.
have no, all of it in the end comes down to, well, we're just playing pretend.
We're just playing pretend.
And it is play. We've got to remember to find our way back to play. We've just got to, for everybody's sake. I mean, there's something about walking into a room for the first time, meeting a bunch of people, and having that sense about you, not showing it, not demonstrating it, just living it. You feel that way.
Yeah.
And whatever you can do to find your way into that groove where you're ready to play, I
I
think that's what you're talking about.
I want to let you know that last year I got to work at the Old Globe in San Diego, and they spend a lot of time on the very first day setting up with all of the artists that they've invited to come and be part of the process. They really make sure that everybody understands what the values of the theater are and what tools there are available to everybody to make sure that those values are helping everybody create the best work possible. So that what I'm talking about is making sure that everybody's knows that they are being supported no matter where they fit in the ecosystem of that theater. And it is incredibly freeing, because once you've got all of that information about what the theater stands for and how you fit into that, then you become free to create in a way that can be that can be free and expressed in however the work wants to be expressed. And one thing that really stuck with me was this concept of grace, that yes, not all of us will get it right every time, but we will grant grace to make sure that the person had the best intentions. And in working forward with a person that you may have perhaps been ignorant with or given a microaggression to, it was just super interesting to me, because it really did allow the room to become free, because we knew that there were agreements in place
Yeah.
that if mistakes were made, that they would be addressed. And there was
That's
a
just a
process.
really nice, yeah.
It was really
And if, of
helpful.
course, if it was me giving that speech, I'd be like, except for that one person. And we all know who that person is, and that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
So we started this whole conversation by giving a weekly recap, and I just want you to know that as part of my week this week, I did finally Yes, I went to this panel. I went to this class. I went
I
to the
know. I'm
theater.
very impressed.
I'm getting out there and doing.
That's
I'm
good
going to the
stuff.
theater again tonight. I'm going to see Broadway tonight. I have a friend who's on for one of the leads in The Great Gatsby on Broadway, so I'm going to see that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. But the other thing that I did too in some of my downtime was I'm finally catching up with Heated Rivalry. Have you
Oh, I
seen
hear
it?
all about that, but I haven't
This is
seen
the
it.
thing. So the
I haven't
friend
seen it yet.
the friend that I may be scabbing HBO Max off of was like, I'm gonna cut you off if you don't
You know
watch
they're
Heated
listening,
Rivalry.
right?
He's like, I'm gonna cut you off if you don't watch Heated Rivalry. So I'm forcing myself
Are they going to
to
take your gay card? Are they going to take your gay card if you don't watch it?
no, they're gonna my HBO Max stream.
Oh, that's worse. Oh my God, that's way worse.
Gay
I
card? Who
haven't
uses
watched
that
it. I know.
anymore?
All my friends are like, what the hell's the matter with you? Are you kidding? It's great. And I'm like, I just haven't I've been running around.
Good. It is pretty good. I'm quite
Everybody says it's really good acting and
impressed.
stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
I mean, that's not the first thing they say. That's not the
no,
first
it's
thing
not
they
the
talk
first thing
about.
to remark upon. Holy cow, those are some fit human beings that they have in that show. And you see all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's. I know. That's what I'm told. So, but I don't have
Good
it
for
either.
them.
I'll have to mooch. I'll have to mooch.
It's the mooching part.
I'll mooch off of you, Kelly, if you're still watching. I'll mooch off of you. Um, so this is good. We did our very first
Don't you
little.
first live together
Yeah.
here in the green room? I mean, the question now becomes, Patrick, you and I have to talk about how often we want to do this. I had kind of fun. I thought it was kind of fun.
I just want to know. I think I have to think about how many green shirts I have. Did you notice I wore green for the
I'm wearing green
room?
too. This mine's sort of so minty you can't really tell in this bright
Oh,
light.
is that what that is? Okay.
It's so cozy.
It's a cozy jumper. Is that a
But you
jumper?
can, yeah, it's a jumper. You can find us on TikTok at The Working Actor NYC. You can find us on YouTube at The Working Actor NYC. And you can find us on Instagram at The Working Actor NYC. You can visit theworkingactornyc.com.
You can listen to us on Spotify.
You can find us on
Or
Spotify and Apple
Apple.
Podcasts.
Wherever you get your podcasts, darling. And you can and then what we'll do is we will promote on TikTok in such a way that people know in advance, right? I'll do that too. Like they know in advance to get over here before they start watching.
Well, yes. I mean, until we get blah 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 blah. We'll have the business talk later, but
Business?
oh,
Said
Don
anything about
Nicholson says
business?
kindness counts.
Hi, Don. Thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you, Don. It
certainly
does.
does.
It does
certainly
count.
does. Oh, that was actually a huge tip from the casting director panel that I went to. They were like, kindness counts. One of the casting directors recounted a story, and we'll wrap with this, but one of the casting directors recounted a story where she had been working as the assistant director on a film, and the director was 2 hours late to set, and the actors were all ready and ready to go, and were understandably furious that they were standing around for an extra 2 hours because the director hadn't made it there yet, except for one actor who was kind and courteous and level-headed and didn't let the anger bubble out or show or anything. She said, when I became a casting director, I used that actor in almost every project that I could.
That's lovely.
Kindness certainly does count.
That's lovely. She had to be good too.
Yeah. Well, yes. But that's a given. If you've already made it onto the set, we're going to hope that you're already good. Thank you for joining us at the Working Actor NYC. This was our first live in the green room, the first of many. It was kind of fun. I kind of liked it.
It was really fun. I enjoyed it. Thanks you guys for popping in. I really appreciate it. Kelly, John, everybody. I love that.
Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time. Happy to share, ready to share, happy to help. Working Actor NYC. That's Penny. Oh, wait, I should do the music. Wait, media assets.
Oh, yeah. Let's do the music. I'm already dancing.